Okay, so Prop 17 restores the right to vote after completion of prison term. The summary of this proposition is that it restores voting rights upon completion of prison term to persons who have been disqualified from voting while serving a prison term. The fiscal impacts would be the annual costs, likely in the hundreds of thousands of dollars statewide for voter registration and ballot materials. One-time state costs, likely in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for voter registration cards and systems. If you vote yes, it basically means people on state parole who are U.S. citizens and residents of California at least 18 years of age would be able to vote. No on this vote would mean that people on state parole would continue to be unable to vote in California. I'm going to be in the yes category just because I think that most people who go to prison, when they get out of prison, they don't want to go back. I know there is certain circumstances where people who get out of prison, they don't know what else to do with their life. They feel like, they have no other options, so they go, especially when it comes to getting a job and stuff, getting a job and being able to participate in society again. It's difficult if all you know is prison. So a lot of these people end up in this cycle of just committing crimes to go back to prison because they are taken care of in prison, because they have like health care, they have a place to stay. There's just incentives for them to go back to prison. So I'm just voting yes on this to give people who are eligible, who are on parole. Because once you're on parole, it's like, okay, you're no longer in prison. If you served your term, we should start giving people incentives to participate in society, especially if you're in California and you've been locked up by some policy created by Kamala Harris, probably not going to want to be excluded from having any decision over the future of your life. It's like Angela Stanton King. She was pardoned recently. Now she's running for Congress in Georgia. Her policies, too, are pretty interesting. Obviously, she was released from prison. She was pardoned by Trump. And now she's trying to enact prison reform to restore and rehabilitate prisoners. She wants to protect religious freedoms, and she's fighting for veterans. She's definitely prison changed her. And I think she was wrongfully accused too of for a conspiracy, some kind of conspiracy theory. I have to get the facts straight on that. So if you know about the Angela Stanton King situation, feel free to comment on that below. But prison definitely changes people for the worse and for the better. It just depends on everyone's situation is different. No matter what your circumstances, you lose time when you go to prison. You lose personal time that you'll never get back. So it would be nice to have something in return when you're released, if you can start to participate again in as many ways as possible. Give people positive incentives to stay out of prison and participate in society. So the cost of this would depend on how many people actually participate in voting. So it's not like they're going to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on ballots for no reason. It's like you have to actually register to vote to actually get ballots sent to you. Proposal allows people on state parole to register to vote. Proposition 17 changes the state constitution to allow people on state parole to register to vote, thereby allowing them to vote. Because current state law allows registered voters to run for elective offices, this measure would result in people on state parole being able to do so as well if they meet existing qualifications, such as not have been convicted of perjury or bribery. That's kind of like the Angela Stanton King thing I was talking about. She's running for office now. She's running for Congress. So it's like I said, just because someone went to prison doesn't mean that, especially in California, we have so many laws. It's like you could get locked up for fucking anything out here. It's like they add laws every year. The book of laws gets thicker every year. Like in California's case, if you have someone like Kamala Harris who's been, involved in increasing the amount of laws, increasing the amount of ways that you can be incarcerated. Yeah, it seems a little fucked up that we don't give people the right to vote when they're released, especially if you're convicted for something that's like a minor offense. There's so many stupid laws out here. You could get a ticket for having a dirty windshield. That's a law out here. That's crazy, right? It's anyways, so yeah, I'm voting yes on 17. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.